Today I'm going to be going through my Trading212 portfolio. I know this is a popular topic. People love to see how investments are doing. I love to see how they're doing myself. So I'm going to take you through how my investments have done in the past month since my last Trading212 review. I have linked above the first video that I did of my Trading212 portfolio if you want to go back and reference it. But I'm excited to show you what's happened in the past 30 days. So if you're new to my channel, I'm Deandra, aka Finance D, and on this channel I talk about all things personal finance and effective money management. So I really believe in cancelling debt, consciously spending and consistently investing. So most of my videos are revolved around those topics in some way or another. If this sounds like something that you're interested in, then of course please do hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel to get out there, and I'm really hoping that the content on this channel provides people with some great information, resources or tools in order to get their personal finances in check and get to a better financial place wherever that may be. So I'm going to take you over to my Trading212 app, and we're going to go through my investments one by one. So before I open up Trading212, you can see that I have eToro, Trading212, Freetrade and Coinbase. I'm probably going to do a video on each of these platforms I use. I also use Vanguard. So if you're interested in how I'm doing on these other platforms, then do subscribe so that you get a notification when I upload those videos. Let's go over to Trading212 now, and I'm going to click the pie so we can see my portfolio. Now in my first video, my account value was around £305. So you can see that it's gone up by around £30 since then. So my current return on investment is £29, which is equivalent to 9.49%. So let's go to the investments and have a look to see how they're doing compared to last time. So the first investment listed is AbbVie. Currently AbbVie is up by 43 pence, which is great because last time it was in the red by around 8 pence. So it's going in the right direction. It's good to see that it's in green, and I'm excited to see where this stock could go. As a side note, I did talk about in my first video why I've chosen each of these investments. So if you're curious to know, then do check that video out. My second stock is Amazon, and this is still in the red. It was in the red 30 days ago. It's still in the red, even though slightly less. So last time it was in the red by 47p, and this time it's in the red by 31 pence. So it's slowly creeping up. I'm not really worried about it at all. This is a long-term investment, so I'm just going to leave it and not really stress about it too much. Now the next investment I have is AT&T. So that is currently in the red as well by 9 pence, and last time it was in the red by 8 pence. So it's barely moved, but this has fluctuated throughout the month. So at some points it was in the green by like 10p, and now it's back down by negative 9p. So again, this is a long-term strategy that I have, but I also have AT&T as a dividend paying share, so I will be investing more into AT&T. Now beyond me, I was hoping it would be in the green this time, but it's not. It is in the red by 25 pence, which is still much better than last time. Last time it was in the red by £1.47, so it's going in the right direction. I do believe that this company has a bright future ahead of it. But quick side note, interesting fact, I remember seeing the other day on the frozen patties, if you know what patties are, like Jamaican patties, I saw that the vegetarian ones say Beyond Meat on them, and I thought, oh my god, this is the first time I've ever realized that. So sometimes you have those moments when you've invested in a stock or share and then you see it somewhere and you think, I have shares in that company. So yeah, that's a random side note, but it's amazing to see that everything around you pretty much you could probably invest in. If you look at where it comes from, there's probably a way that you could invest in that. Now the next share is EasyJet, and if you watched my first video then you know I didn't have EasyJet, and so this came as a free share. Thank you to whoever signed up using my link. I have also linked down below in the description how you can get your own free share, and if you use my referral link, then I also get a free share when you sign up. So as you can see, since I've received this share, it has gone up by £1.11. So that's not bad at all. So I'm actually going to sell that share because I'm not really interested in EasyJet for the long term, even though I've flown them a million times. But I'm going to sell that, and I'll show you today how I'm going to sell that share. So let's move on to iShares electrical vehicles. So this one is in the green by £1.39, and last time it was in the green by 4p. So I'm happy to see that profit, but of course it technically isn't profit until I sell the investment. So it's good to see it in the green, and I definitely believe that this will go way up in the future. We are really heading towards a more electrical vehicle society. And then my next stock that I have is the iShares Global Clean Energy. I have 4 shares in this, and I'm up by £6.75, which is fantastic because that is equivalent to a 15% gain. So I'm really happy with this. This is actually one of my favorite stocks or shares that I have. It is an ETF, so it's invested in multiple companies that focus on green energy or cleaner energy, and so I think this is a good stock to have. And by comparison, in the last video I was up by 94p, so this is almost up by £6 in a 30-day period. Legal and General Group, I have 8 shares and I'm up by £1.76. In my last video I was up by £1.41p, so again this has progressed in a good way in the last 30 days. Now Palantir, I didn't have this in my portfolio 30 days ago, and the reason why I have it now is because I sold my IBM stock, as I said that I probably would, and I did end up selling it, and I decided to buy this stock instead. And I'm very happy with the result because, as you can see, I'm up by £6.53, which is equivalent to 32%. So far this has been a really good investment and a really good move, and so I'm really happy with this, and I'm definitely watching this space when it comes to this stock and this company because they look like they could be a future Google or a future Microsoft. So of course that is complete speculation, do your own research, but I think they have a bright future ahead of them. They are like a data information company based in the United States. And then my next share that I have is Realty Income. This is because it pays pretty good dividends, is why I have this share, and currently I'm in the red by 27p. My next share I have is Rio Tinto, which is up by £3.78. In my last video I was up by 10p, so I have a pretty good gain in the last 30 days, and I'm happy with this. The next share I have is Royal Dutch Shell. I have just under 2 shares of this, and I'm up by £8.13. So this of course is my best performing stock that I have right now, and it is up by 51.42%. So that's pretty great, I'm happy with that. And I believe that I will be getting a dividend payment from Shell in the next couple of days, which is just a nice bonus. Tencent, I think this is probably one of the only shares in my portfolio that is now worse than it was last month. So I'm currently down by 73p, and last month I was down by 6p, and so I think I'm actually going to buy more of this. So let me just scroll up really quickly and sell this EasyJet share. Selling it, order executed, fantastic. So now let me go down to Tencent and I'm going to buy more. Now you may be thinking, why am I buying more of this if it's worse now than it was last month? And that's actually the perfect time to buy more. And the reason why I say it's the perfect time to buy more is because when stocks aren't doing so well, but they have the potential to do a lot better, it is actually a great time to buy because you're essentially getting a stock or a share at a discounted price. So as you may have heard before, when everybody panics and runs away from the stock market and starts withdrawing their money, that is the perfect time for you to invest your money. A prime example of this was back in March when everybody started panicking because the stock market plummeted. People started taking out their investments and they were worried, and they'd probably done way more damage than they did good. But those smart people who saw this panic actually started buying because they got stocks and shares at a seriously discounted price. And what happened a couple of months later, everything kind of went back to normal, spiked back up, and they bought those shares right at the bottom, and now they've just seen that amazing growth over the last couple of months. So that is why I'm buying this stock. And that took a really long time for that order to execute, but it's executed. So now I have some more of that 10¢. And last but not least, I have my Vanguard FTSE All World. I'm up by £1.32. In my last video, I was up by 66p. So of course, this is done better in the past 30 days. I like to consider these Vanguard ETFs as slow burners, that I'm not expecting to see a crazy spike in them, but generally you will see a steady growth over the long term. So it's a slow burner, but I will be investing more into this. Now I just want to quickly show you something, and I'm going to go over to dividends. And you can see here that I have received dividends for holding some of these shares. So the dividends that I have received so far are IBM Corporation. I received a whopping 2p worth of a dividend, which of course is next to nothing. But the interesting thing here is I received this dividend on the 14th of December, and I had sold this share way before that. But the reason why I still received this dividend is because I owned this share during the ex-dividend date or the record date. I will do a video about ex-dividend dates and record dates and what that all means. My next dividend that you'll see is my iShares Global Clean Energy. I received this dividend at the end of November, which was 6p. Again, not much, but this is just a nice bonus for having an investment that I was going to have anyway. And back on the 4th of November, I received a dividend of 62p for AT&T. So although it was in the red then and it's in the red now, I still received dividend payments. So it's really nice to see that this whopping 70p I can reinvest into my investments. It's not much money, but as you could imagine, the more shares that you have, the bigger the payments will be. So you will see as this portfolio grows, those dividend payments will also increase over the long term. So just as a side note, I didn't actually invest any additional money into my Trading212 portfolio this month. So my focus was solely on my Vanguard account this month, but I also didn't do that because I wanted to show what the growth looked like without investing additional money. So as you saw, my investment portfolio was up by £20 to £30 compared to last month, which is great. It's only a month and I don't exactly have a lot of money invested into this account. There's like £300 that I have personally put into this account. So it's not a lot of money, but to see a £30 growth. So to see a £30 growth in that time is quite impressive. And so I'm excited to continue to show you what this looks like over time. In my next portfolio update, I probably would have invested a bit more money into it. So I will show you where I've invested my money and I'll talk about why. But as I said to start with, I have my referral link in the description. So feel free to use that if you don't already have a Trading212 account. And if you want to know the difference between the Trading212 accounts, I talk about that in my first video, so feel free to check that out. And that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next Trading212 portfolio update. Take care and see you in the next video.